Okay, I wasn't ready, but I noticed someone said, "Where were you?" And then I actually realized I didn't actually schedule a broadcast. I only, anyway, it's hard to explain it, but I didn't mean to go live right now. I was going to do it at 6 o'clock my time, but since we're all here, oh boy, I just barrened all over the place, didn't I? When I do stuff like that, I call it doing a Baron. I just Baroned all over the place just now. Did not mean to go live until about 45 minutes from now. And again, I realized my error. I didn't actually schedule the broadcast. Folks, I have to tell you, if there was a college course to do this stuff, it would still be very, very confusing, especially for an old baby boomer like myself. But I'm doing the best I can. In spite of that, since we're all here, that's enough for all that who shot John. Might as well get into it. I didn't even make a thumbnail or anything, so you know what? I don't care right now. So we're here again, aren't we? We are here again. And by the way, you're welcome. You all are welcome. I decided to insert the young, cute, handsome Baron avatar in there. Unless you all want me to go back to an old gnarly picture of myself. I think I look so cute here. I mean, I would almost ask me out. That's how cute that looks. But you know what they say, a thing of beauty is a joy until sunrise. And right now, there's so much daylight on me. I'm gonna flatter you all with this older picture of myself. Older picture of myself. Although I'm stalling to give people a chance to get in. So, although I have to say, in that photo, I was actually over 40 years old. Can you believe that? I was over 40 in that photo. But anyway, so how is everybody? I'm going to stall a bit to give everybody a chance to get in. But again, for those of you that just joined us seconds ago, it wasn't my intention to go live at this point, but I forgot to actually schedule the podcast. And so once I put the notice up, then people were like, okay, so where are you? So here we are. Because I neglected to schedule it, I decided to just go straight into it. Once we reach 100, then I'm going to get to the uh, topic at hand. And that, of course, is Mr. Sidney Poitier. How about this avatar? I like this one too. Virgin, first class. I've been in the first class section. I've been a virgin, but never at the same time. I'm stalling to give people. Oh, we're at 100. Okay, that's good enough for me. So let me say hello to everyone. Also, I need to do one more thing here. Get myself ready. If you just joined us, I do apologize that you didn't get a notice. It wasn't my intention to go live. This was kind of by accident. Well, sort of, but I'm not going to get into that again. But wasn't my intention to go live, but here we are. Kind of by accident. Okay. So I'm going to do one little thing so I can see your comments. Yes, better than let's see what else we got here. All right, so greetings to everyone who just joined us. Yes, Chantel, rest in peace, Sidney Poitier. You know what? I have to tell you, some of our favorite and most admired people have reached their 80s and 90s. So we may find ourselves revisiting this feeling again and again. But, you know, it doesn't matter because it's an opportunity for us to celebrate some very beloved people in this world. So um, as these events occur, we will be here to celebrate their lives. So hello, Lydia Washington, JJ, Bellissima, uh, Alina Combs, welcome to the chat. Chantel Dixon, welcome. Church Nelly. Church Nelly, I know you've been feeling a certain way all day. I've been looking at a few comments here and there, but we're here for you. We're here for you. Sonia Johnson, welcome. Anna Espinoza, Joanne Baker, Lori 29, Jean, or yeah, Jean MK, and Hey Love, crack me up. Let me see. Von Joseph, Vivian Ciani, welcome. And Rosa Roberts, Patricia Nixon, welcome to the chat. Morpha Roman, welcome to the chat. Cute. Okay. I like that. You know, making allowances for wear and tear. I'm not to be had for the price of a cocktail, but I look okay. But thank you. um, let's see. Okay. Hello, squaddies. Hello, Baron. Royal Sussex and all moderators. Very nice, Lori. Thank you for that. Anna Espinoza, welcome to the chat. Yeah, I've had several phases of different uh what do you call it? Celebrities. You know, I had this celebrity moment, that celebrity moment. Um but I'm flattered by all of them. Okay, Patricia Nixon, welcome to the chat. Judy Rigault, welcome to the chat. Or is it Rigault? Welcome. Jay Law, Reba Henderson, Myrtle James. I don't think I've ever known a Myrtle before, but I love that name. Welcome to the chat. Okay. All right. Okay, I like that. Got my notification. Excellent. For those that just joined us, if you didn't get a notification in time, or if it seemed really quick, that's because I forgot to schedule the chat. But we're here anyway, so we are going to. Oh, hi, Joan Commonwealther. Farewell, my one and only heartthrob. Oh, Joan. Joan. Oh, thanks for sharing that with us. Yeah, Sidney Poitier was just absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And my memories of him, you know, as they run all the old movies on television, that's how I got to know Sidney Poitier, was from all of the old movies. Lilies of the Field, um, To Sir with Love, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, all of those old movies. But if you guys know anything about me, then you know which one is my favorite Sidney Poitier movie. If you think you know, hey Anastasia Isabella, if you think Rogers, welcome. Also, Ethan husband too, welcome. So if you guys know me at all, if you have any inkling, can you please tell me which is my favorite Sidney Poitier movie? So please list mine first and yours second. What is my favorite Sidney Poitier movie? Again, list mine first and then add yours second. I'll give that a few minutes and let you guys guess which one it is. My memory of him, To Sir with Love. Let me see. Oh, let me see. Reba Henderson. I did not know Sidney Poitier directed so many movies. Buck and the Preacher, Let's Do It Again. Um, Oh, you guys do know. Thank you, JJ, Rosa, and Rosa Roberts. You guys do know. Oh, thank you, Judy Rigo. Thank you. I'm glad I pronounced your name correct. Um, yeah, To Sir with Love. That is like one of my favorite all times movie. But my favorite movie is All About Eve. But like in my list of favorites, way up there, like maybe even second, is To Sir with Love. That movie just meant everything when I was growing up. Um, and it was like one of those things that made me want to go to London. If there was anything in this world that made me want to visit London, it was To Sir with Love. That movie was just like, how do I put it? It was a coming to age movie before that term coming to age was popular. But that's exactly what it was. And Sidney Poitier, uh, you know, this incredibly talented, handsome um, actor takes on this role, and he just totally. I mean, he was Mr. Thackeray. He was completely Mr. Thackeray. And just as you think that he can never be anything but Mr. Tibbs or Mr. Thackeray, this very serious character, Sidney Poitier proved to have so many facets to his talent, because then he could go on and play in comedies like Let's Do It Again, Uptown Saturday Night, um, you know, paired with Bill Cosby in those movies. He showed an amount of range that we didn't even know was possible for Sidney Poitier. But he was incredible in those roles. Now, I didn't know until today that he directed um, Let's Do It Again and so many other movies like Stir Crazy. I had no idea. I had no idea whatsoever that he was such an incredible director. I mean, this is a guy. I believe he taught himself to read. I believe he even taught himself to read. And there he is. What was he, from the Bahamas, I believe? And all of a sudden, he finds himself living in New York, and at some point he became this struggling actor. um yeah, absolutely, he was a phenomenal actor. Absolutely. So let's see, I don't want to miss some of these great comments that you have, because we're here to share, so I don't want to just guess who's coming to dinner, To Sir with Love. Yeah, I recently watched a documentary? No, not a documentary, but you know how they have those the actors talking about different movies. And Isabel Sanford, Wheezy Jefferson, was into Sir with Love, in case you guys have forgotten. And Isabel Sanford, actually spoke about how Sidney Poitier said, "Listen, I want you to really come after me." And so she wasn't satisfied with her work being a perfectionist. But if you remember Isabel Sanford's scene on To Sir with Love, she was absolutely incredible. I'm sorry, not To Sir with Love. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Whew, boy, I'm glad I caught that. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? I worked for, let me see, I worked for his older brother, Cyril Portier, back in the 1970s, who are who at the time owned a daycare center. Oh, very nice. I hope you had a chance to meet him. But even if you didn't, that's had to be incredible to be that close. Oh, did you, Sheila? You know how I am, don't you? You know how I am, and I'm gonna try to get through this without losing my voice, without my usual emotions. But it once you get to a certain age, having to say goodbye to people never gets easy. Oh yes, The Raisin in the Sun, Ruby D. That was an amazing movie. Oh yeah. I mean, he was, Sidney Poitier was as dependable as the sun rising in the morning. He was. It's not just that he was such a great black actor. He was just a great actor and a great man. He was a great man, as he said in the movie "To Sir with Love." I'm sorry if I get these movies wrong. Please forgive me because I'm just all over the place right now. But it was Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. He said to his father, he said, "You look at yourself as being a colored man." He said, "I look at myself as just a man." So that was very powerful. Some of the speeches, um, yeah, I believe some of that. I love that movie. I hate to say that that's like my all time favorite at this occasion, but I don't want to you know try to say something that's not true. But I have to tell you that in my DVD collection, I don't care if the power grid goes down, if the internet collapses, I feel safe knowing that I have a DVD and a VHS copy of To Sir with Love and All About Eve, both of those movies. Uh, in the Heat of the Night, yes, A Raisin in the Sun, absolutely. Porgy and Bess, Buck and the Preacher, To Sir with Love, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, In the Heat of the Night, and so many, absolutely. So he won his Oscar, I believe, for Lilies of the Field, right? And then at one time, he was like the most box office worthy leading man in Hollywood, which is just absolutely extraordinary, especially at that time. Okay. Oh, okay. Guys, you guys have such great comments. I'm so sorry if I'm missing too many of them. Okay, little Nikita in the Heat of the Night. And yes, the list is seemingly endless. Gretchen Hardy, aka Gigi. Yeah. Okay. So, just a little background. Um, Sidney Poitier did win an Academy Award for Lilies of the Field, and in 2009, the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award. Of course, that was when Obama was in office, right? Yeah, that was when Obama was in office. Matter of fact, that was Obama's first year in office because I think the election was 2008 and 2009 is the inauguration. So yeah, I believe that was like so. That's how pressing it was to President Obama to make sure that he received that award. Is that he did it immediately upon taking office? Well, almost. And of course, he was a civil rights activist. He was a civil rights activist. Welcome to the chat, Miss VSN. I just saw that out the corner of my eye. Let's see. Here's I mean, Sidney Poitier took some really great photos, so many of them. Here's Sidney Poitier with Oprah Winfrey. And I do have some more that I want to share soon. But yeah, it's his body of work. His body of work was just absolutely incredible. And again, the fact that he could play comedy as well as the great strong leading man roles that he played. And then excuse me, I have to speak about someone else who was from the Bahamas. Calvin Lockhart, the actor Calvin Lockhart. You would have thought that Sidney Poitier may have had like some kind of insecurity about another incredible leading male actor like Calvin Lockhart. And if you guys are not familiar with Calvin Lockhart, I want to say the most recent roles that he's played. Well, for a short time, he was on Dynasty for maybe 9 episodes or something like that. But Calvin Lockhart was also the original Biggie Smalls in the movie Let's Do It Again. And of course, that character was, or at least the name of the character, was adapted by um, the notorious Big. But Calvin Lockhart was another great actor who did not get his dues in Hollywood. Hollywood kind of rejected him for some reason, but Sidney Poitier never forgot him, even casting him in the movie Let's Do It Again, which, and what was it, Silky Slims in another movie, which really helped to keep his career moving at a time when he really needed the work. And yeah, let's see, Bellissima. Uh, yeah, Calvin Lockhart. Let me see if I can find a photo of him. But when Calvin Lockhart died some years ago, I think Sidney Poitier was absolutely uh, very gracious and generous with his um, comments about Calvin Lockhart, saying that the Hollywood really missed out on a great talent. But, that's so many people's story. But, with Calvin Lockhart, it was also very true. So I believe both actors originally were from the Bahamas, and they both were these incredibly talented people that had to find their way. Sidney Poitier was, you know, notably more famous, and of course had achieved more in Hollywood. But it's nice that Sidney Poitier had that generosity and that brotherhood to share with his fellow countrymen. So yeah, that I thought that was he was just a very gracious guy. Sidney Poitier was incredibly gracious, very supportive of so many other people, um, and very much into um, the Black Pride movement, the Black Civil Rights movement. He was so active in all of those things. He never forgot where he came from. I guess you could say that. He never actually forgot where he came from. He never forgot his roots. Uh, okay, what's that? Cookies and cream? Oh, not cookies and cream. Reba Henderson. Sidney Poitier did with Clark Gable, where Sidney played his former slave. I don't know that movie. I'm embarrassed to say I don't know that movie, but of course I'd like to see it. But yeah, I don't actually know that movie. But let's see. Unfortunately, I'm not finding any photos of Calvin and Sidney together, although they have been in movies together. But I'm not finding any photos of them together. Oh, this is a great photo of Calvin Lockhart. Okay, I think I'll share this one. Quality's not so good, but I'm gonna queue up his photo just in case you guys don't know to whom I am speaking. But yeah, so the generosity that Sidney Poitier had toward other actors, and of course the ongoing way that he was always such an active part of the Black community, never forgetting where he came from, and always trying to uphold the dignity of African Americans, especially at a time when that did not seem like a popular way to get ahead in Hollywood. He took a lot of risk. He took a lot of risk, and he was able to stand in his truth. Um, let's see. Uh, Yeah, and I have to tell you, one of my favorite quotes of Sidney Poitier. This was in his biography. He said, "You don't have to become something you're not to become better than you were. You don't have to become something that you're not to become something better than you were." I think that is just absolutely incredible. I love that. So I'm gonna get back to some more of your comments. Okay. Yes, Victoria, absolutely. Fun-loving person. He did have a, to see when I love to see Sidney Poitier laugh because you always it's disarming because you think of him as being this very serious person, but he loved to laugh. He loved to laugh. Yeah, Patricia Nixon. Yeah, that's probably true. And again, there's so many in so many ways. I would think that you know it would seem like, oh, Sidney Poitier may have been a bit, shall we say, a bit guarded about his friendship with Calvin Lockhart, or maybe even a little insecure that somehow he may become the new it person, but he never seemed to suffer that. If anything, he always tried to uplift Calvin. So I thought that was incredible. And I didn't learn about the fact that they were very close until recently, that, um, they had known and worked with each other a lot over the years. I didn't learn about that until recently. So that was interesting to learn. But so here's this is Calvin Lockhart in the movie directed by Sidney Poitier. I believe it was Let's Do It Again. And this is Calvin Lockhart playing Biggie Smalls. And this is a art rendering that someone had created of him. But yeah, so very, very, very nice that he looked out for another actor like that. Just it just makes you love him that much more. Okay. Okay. And okay, I found that one already. So just scrolling back to see if I missed anything. Okay, that's why Sidney set up his production company to help a lot of black actors, a gentleman through and through. Yes, policeman, that is the best way to put it, a gentleman through and through. So yeah, we still got to find that out if anybody. I got to find out the name of that movie with Clark Gable. And Clark Gable, there is. I recently found out that they said that he was, I guess, kind of open about the fact that he had some African blood. I'm not sure how true that is, but I saw that somewhere, and I'm just like, well, maybe that explains it. And then there was the fact that Clark Gable was such close friends with what was it, Hattie McDaniels? I think that it wasn't unusual for, a certain group of bohemian actors to find their way over to Hattie's house. So, yeah, I look at a lot of those interviews and a lot of the biographies on the YouTube, and sometimes I could drown in those biographies. And truthfully, it I hear like different versions of the same story, and it never like gets old to me. Like, the past couple weeks, or not a couple weeks, but the past week, um, it's been all Golden Girls all the time. Suddenly I want to know all the backstory, and take those with a grain of salt. No matter who the actor or the famous person is, whatever historic figure, take those backstories with a grain of salt, because it's very informative, but it's just one person's version of the story. So, okay. Anybody else? Okay. With that, I'm good right now if you guys are. If there's anything happening in the news today that you all want to talk about, I haven't been on Twitter much today, but I decided I needed to, after my little what do you call it, frustration I had yesterday, I thought I better look away from the Twitter for a minute. I think of Harry Belafonte. Yeah, he and Harry Belafonte, brothers in peace for years. Brothers in peace, brothers in the civil rights movement for years. You're right, Sonia Johnson. You really can't think of one without the other. Yeah, definitely. Symmetry. Oh, that's pretty cool. Symmetry. Google to the movie Sidney Poitier and Clark Gable. The movie is called Band of Angels, right? Okay, thank you for that. Rachel Windley, welcome to the chat. I wish it was under better circumstances, but we're just naming our favorite Sidney Poitier movies. If you want to throw yours in there, we'd like that. Mine, of course, is To Sew with Love. Um, and little footnote: did you guys know that Patricia Routledge, aka Hyacinth Bouquet, is in the movie To Sew with Love? Yes. Keeping Up Appearances actor um, Patricia Routledge was in the movie To Sew with Love. She had a very small part as one of the teachers, but she was in the movie. Oh God, that was a great movie. I'm so sorry. I have to say that was one of the best movies ever. I even had the soundtrack. I rented, well, not rented, but I borrowed the soundtrack from one of the local public libraries. They actually had the LP. How old do I sound right now? But they had the LP, the 33 and the third. And I borrowed it and took it home and learned all the songs from the movie. I just about forgot them all by now. But yeah, there was actually a great soundtrack. There were the band that was in the movies. I know so much about the movie that I even know that the band was called the Mindbenders. And remember that little awkward dance that Sidney Poitier had in To Serve with Love when they asked him to dance, and that was when I realized that Sidney Poitier was in it to win it. You know what I'm saying? Just when you're a professional like that, um, yeah, you do what you have to do. So let me see. What do we have here? Okay. The Beehive hairdos and To Sew with Love. Yeah, they had that. That came out in 1966, I believe. I won't say whether or not I was born yet. I just know that it came out in 1966. uh okay. Happy 2020. Cecil King, thank you so much. Happy New Year to you too. I mean, it's only the 7th of January. It seems like we're well into the year, but I think it's okay to still say it. I do for at least a couple weeks. Well, it seems the Golden Girls of the UK is not paying her son's legal fees. Oh, you want to get messy. Okay, I'm here for that. I think that we can observe a period of mourning and get a little messy at the same time. I'm for that. But yeah, so apparently they want to sell that chalet that they Moneybags the Yorks purchased in Switzerland, a Swiss chalet. They want to sell it for $17 million or 17 million pounds. Um, and that's something that the British press can do is they should mention that Swiss chalet every time they mention Prince Andrew, the same way they mention that $14 million mansion every time they mention the Sussexes. Rachel, thank you so much for that. Thank you, and thank you for joining us in the chat. Yvonne Clark, I was disgusted that put a picture of a baby that had Down syndrome and said, it, "Oh, where did you see that?" Oh my God, didn't I just mention that the other day that they keep throwing these babies out there? And God bless whoever's child that was, but that the fact that they keep doing that stuff, that is just absolutely disgusting. The whole fuss that some of these haters have made around those children. And I remember how Dr. Shola stood up for the Cambridge's kids when the Cambridge kids were featured, in that cartoon. And thank you for that, Yvonne. Thank you so much. Um, when the Cambridge kids were featured in that cartoon, Dr. Shola was like the loudest voice on television protesting that. Oh, you hear it in my voice, don't you? You hear it in my voice. Oh, but yeah, but when it comes to the kids, just leave those kids alone. Leave them alone. The Queen had to pay £6 million to stop Andrew having to go to court for not paying what was owed on the chalet. I remember that, Elaine. I remember that. I sure enough remember that. Yep, sure enough do. I do remember that. So yes, I saw that, Miss Levi Hemmings. I saw that. And you know what? I thought after yesterday I wasn't going to mention it, but I did see the headline. I didn't read the article, but I did see a headline saying that Morgan said, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. It wasn't what you're saying right now. It was that Pig Morgan was saying um that Meghan had DM'd him and that she had a crush on him or something like that. And I said, nope, 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 nope. I can't do it. I can't do it. I am not going to do it. But yeah, Pig Morgan is struggling to um, find some kind of purpose these days, and he'll use whatever means necessary. But I didn't read the article. I just let it go by. uh, and Elaine Parker, thank you. I hope that they do bring out the receipts because apparently the Duchess of Sussex wants them to present as many receipts as possible. By the way, let me get this out the way so you can see this caption. Isn't that hilarious? Remember, I showed you this the other day. Man stopped in Windsor Castle. Man stopped and detained attempting to enter Windsor Castle on Christmas Day. Now, obviously, this is a parody. I didn't make it myself, but God, is it funny? Let's see. Very funny. I love it. Just messy. Um, and probably a little true. They probably need to keep him away from his mother so he can stop sticking his hand out or trying to hide under her skirt. He's built for purpose, built for hiding under his mother's hemline. Um, Yeah, and of course they'll want to blame the Sussexes for everything, but this is the true downfall of the family. This, and of course William's troubles, and that lackluster, dim-witted Duchess Doolittle. Those are the people that are going to bring down the monarchy. The people that could help save the monarchy. They ran them out of the country. They ran them out of the country. Okay. Okay. Okay, stock photo they use to put down a lot of people. Meghan is just the latest person. Here on the Eighth Channel, some of you said it was. Oh, really? I watch Henry the Eighth almost all the time, and I never look at the comments. I leave the comments and just keep it moving. So I don't really look at the comments on other channels because it's so difficult to keep up with the ones on Royal Sussex. And as you know, guys know, when I go through the comments on Royal Sussex, I leave a heart. I don't respond to all of them because that would really take a lot of time. But I leave a heart just to let you know that I have read it. And even if I don't agree with it, I leave a heart to let you know that I'm thanking you for commenting. But it doesn't mean that I always agree, but most times I do. But just so you know, I try to look at it, many of them as possible. And also, of course, first and foremost, what am I doing? I am hunting for trolls. Thanks to the amazing moderators, I don't have much to do, but I still go through myself just to check and see if there's trolls and to also look at the comments that you leave because some of them are, directed toward me and I want to make sure that I see as many of them as possible. Okay, Cookies and Cream says they're ramping up the vicious attacks against Meghan to divert attention from the alleged, you know what, Prince Andrew. Karma is going to visit with them, with those people, savage cretins. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid losing my monetization. Okay. Hey, Squatties family. Just joining, but glad to. Oh, well, Maggie Howell, we're here because of Sidney Poitier. Mostly that. And then, of course, being the squad, there were a few people who thought, oh, do we have a room for a little messy? And of course, you know me, I agreed. Little messy goes a long way. Because remember, the calls are coming from inside the house. So, yeah, we do have to make room for a little bit of that because the news continues and our support of the Sussexes is unwavering. So, we have to address that as it comes. So, if you have any thoughts you want to share, Gangster Granny, I like to call it Gangster Gan Gan because I think the grandkids call her Gan Gan. Paying the bills and they're just trying to keep her out of the mess. Yeah. Right now, we don't even know exactly how much duty the queen is actually taking care of herself. God, that sounds weird. How much, is there any other word? Duty. We don't know the extent of her duties right now. Okay, there's no other way to say it, but not to dwell on her duty. You know what I mean? You know what? Never mind. I don't even want to talk about it no more. Okay, I'm just a kid at heart. I Little words like that trigger me. Uh he played oh yeah, absolutely. Yep, you're right. And took him her mummy yeah, uh-huh. Hold on you guys, my nose always starts running when I get on the live. Okay. I don't know what it is about the live chat that I don't know if it's my own methane coming back toward me that makes my nose run, but oh, okay, so I'm better now. But and you know what? The first time I did the live, it only took about 15 minutes. Now I'm making it sometimes a whole hour before my sinuses get bad. I don't know what happens. Oh, yeah, the 40 by 40. Okay, so someone said in the comments earlier that her birthday is actually the 9th. I didn't know that because, I don't really care. And I don't think most of the world cares. But okay, now they're saying, and I'm just saying, I saw this in passing, not that I, go looking for so much stuff. But now they're saying that Duchess Doolittle decided that she will postpone any birthday celebrations until summer when things are better in the world. So, summer, spring, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Okay. Mr. Belafonte is 94. My junior high school sang 3 songs with him in concert. I saw him years later, 2012, at an award show. He's He 82 remembered the event. School music teacher, charming man. Oh, thank you for sharing that story, Cecil. Thank you so much for that. I was hoping to hear some personal stuff like that. Uh, Gives her birthday and global attention. Well, nobody's paying attention to Kate. So um I guess the thing by throwing Megan's name didn't really get the mileage that they wanted. That being said, it's no way in the world that Duchess Doolittle's birthday is going to become a global phenomenon, if I'm not using too big of a word, but let's face it. Megan's 40th birthday was trending like crazy. So I don't know if they're going to try to hitch Kate's birthday to the Jubilee in some kind of way or what, you know. But they realized that in this news cycle, even though there's not much going on, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Okay, why would Megan have anything to do with Andrew's trial? Trial that is. She was not in the royal family. Yeah, they just want her I guess uh, as an American who's been with the royal family, I can't help but think that perhaps they want to just bolster the image of the defense or something like that. I really couldn't say why that would even be important, but I just think that they use the Duchess's name as leverage to make sure that they get a better outcome with the trial. Just with the threat of having her to speak out and speak truthfully, and that people will trust her. Um, as of course with the Oprah interview, they're hoping that that would help to leverage things in favor of the plaintiffs. Unless when the squatties learn not to engage in these nonsensical unnecessarily. Yeah, it's a mixed bag there, Sheila. On the one hand, you don't want to pay attention to it, but on the other hand, you have these tabloids and, of course, the men in gray suits or whoever in Narnia, which are dictating to the American news agencies, the American news companies, whatever, they're dictating how to talk about the Sussexes. Just when you think you heard the last of it, you'll hear somebody say, "But I thought they came here for privacy. I thought they wanted their privacy." Even what's his name? Mario Lopez, is that the guy? Someone told me that he was on that entertainment show and they were talking about Meghan and he said, "But didn't they want their privacy?" Mario Lopez said that? And Christopher Reeve's son, whatever that kid's name is, he was doing that thing with Omid Scobie that day. And he asked Omid, he said, "But I thought they left for their privacy." So I think to say nothing and to pretend like it doesn't exist, words do have power. Whether we like it or not, words do have power. So Megan's name, the tabloids. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know what, Denise? That's right. The tabloids will stream it like crazy if they can just get her name in there some kind of way. And to the general public, it'll be this assumption that maybe she knows something, even though most squatties know that she wasn't there and had no connection to him whatsoever. Okay, Toronto in the 80s. It was wonderful. Oh, Lynette, that's nice to hear. That is so nice to hear. You actually saw Harry Belafonte live. Now, that's something to treasure. Absolutely. Let me see. Fat Albert and Monaco. Yes. I call him Prince Pudgy Pants. Prince Pudgy Pants of Monaco. The Elmer Fudd of Royals. Uh, yeah, okay. Let me see. Squatty should not use the currency for nonsense and save it for more. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. It's kind of hard to miss sometimes, but I agree. And I'm just going to say what a lot of people may think and not want to say it, but you know, when I was growing up, I looked at the Inquirer, I looked at the Star. It was something that was purchased in our home all the time. A lot of these magazines, I may have seen them at a doctor's office or waiting room somewhere. And mostly, I only cared about the photos. I did not take the words as gospel. And that's the big difference between the American tabloids and the British tabloids is that here in the US, we don't think of the Star or the Inquirer as news. We think of them as gossip. We think of those papers as gossip first. And I think that in overseas, across the pond, people look at the I guess the Sun and what is it? Well, any of the tabloid papers, including of course the Fail. I think that people over there, especially older people, believe it to be accurate news. But we don't look at it like that over here. Now, unfortunately, because the mail has become so popular in the US, a lot of people in the US do not really understand the full tabloid vibe that's coming out of the Daily Fail. But if they knew the Daily Fail the way that the squatties know the Daily Fail, then of course, we know that that's just gossip and hearsay. But over there, it seems to be all of the above mentioned papers that is actual legitimate news that should not be ignored. Well, I say it should be ignored, but because of the popularity, it's almost impossible to ignore it. So, you know, I just have to say that I'm speaking for a lot of people. Most of us just want to see photos of the Sussexes. We're not there for the story. We want to see how the Sussexes are doing. We're there for the joy of it. And yes, I believe all of us are guilty of having sourced those tabloids to see the Sussexes. We've all done it. So, you know, we want to see the photos, but we don't want to click on it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We don't want to help them get money, but we want to see our faves. And sometimes they run the photos faster than anybody else. You even if you see it on social media somewhere, if you look down in the corner, where did the photo originate? Who first published it? It usually comes out of the tabloids. So they're quick to get stuff out there. You can't argue with that. But the fact that it's all layered with lies and hearsay, that's something that unfortunately comes along with it. It's like taking the bitter with the sweet. So I I would rather they just leave the Sussexes alone, but, like anybody else, I don't share the photos, but I have seen them, and I won't pretend like I haven't. Does that make sense to everybody, or am I, leaving something out? Okay. Yeah, Sabrina, we have seen the others regarding the Sussexes wanting the privacy. Ignorance prevail. Yep. Okay. TCC. Well, look, I always add another C. TCC, son. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force performed to So With Love. Oh, did they? I'm going to have to look for that. I am going to have to look for that. Thank you so much for telling me that. That's going to give me goosebumps. You know that, right? Oh, thank you so much, Lydia. Thought I was just babbling on, but I was just trying to have a moment of clarity and honesty about where we stand with those people and the material they distribute. Okay. Uh, they said, yeah, that amount is not true, Beverly. We all know that it's going to be a whole heap of money. I mean, it's going to be so much money. I think that the Duchess of Sussex may own a share of the she's gonna be part owner of Associated News Service or whatever it is. Uh, yeah, I understand, Sheila. It's an emotional topic when it comes to the tabloids, and I'm always trying to make sure I get it right. I think the only thing that I managed to, and then I'm sure sometimes I have looked at shared photos that may have possibly have been tabloid photos, but the more obvious ones are like with the children, and of course, there's a few that we should never share. But yeah, I'm always trying to make sure I get it right, Sheila. So I don't mind having the conversation either way. I mean, that's we don't um, disagree on principle. So I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So um, I'm glad to talk about it, and thank you for that. They ignore to understand the difference between privacy and intrusion when it's the Sussexes. Great point, Lil Rock. Great point. Absolutely. Okay. Okay, I think we're going to close this out at 1 hour. I just looked at how long we've been on here. And you guys, let's see. I believe Andrew. Thanks for the chat. Mostly get ignored here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could believe that. Okay, so any last thoughts, you guys? Any last thoughts? And, it's been um, I guess for some people, Betty White passed away. Um, well, no, I guess with the that it was that morning, New Year's Eve. So I think it was already after midnight for some people. So technically, I think for some people she passed away the first of the year. But in the time zone, to be fair, it was New Year's Eve, and so we've had these two big giants of Hollywood that we lost recently. Pioneers, both of them. Betty White, who was had the longest history of anyone in television. Guinness Book of Records, won 8 Emmy awards, I believe, and a Lifetime Achievement Award from what was it, the Golden Globe or whatever it was. But she won a Lifetime Achievement Award. I mean, she's been there for so long. It's hard to think of a time when she wasn't there. You know why? Because there was never a time on television when Betty White wasn't some part of it. And then, of course, the other pioneer, Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier, who single-handedly changed the whole tide of Hollywood by becoming part of an industry and conquering that industry that really uh, would see a person of his color as a servant or a slave or some fugitive or something, a porter or a waiter, whatever. He was not meant to be like a movie heartthrob, a headliner, but there he was. He conquered Hollywood. He literally conquered Hollywood. He won the highest achievement. I believe it's the president of the Bahamas. I think it was the president of the Bahamas. The guy, not the girl. She's what, the prime minister? Well, anyway, I think it's the president of the Bahamas. He said that Sidney Poitier did not take the Oscar. He earned it. He said actors actually have to earn the Oscar. It's not something that's just given to you. But he earned it. He literally earned it. And then to show you how much they loved him, he actually went back and got the Lifetime Achievement Award. And that's something that they give to someone who has had such a huge impact on an industry, or on that industry. I remember when I was in Hollywood, um, in Los Angeles back in December 2019, and going down the um um the stars there on Hollywood. What do they call it? The whatever they call the stars on Hollywood. Going down the sidewalk there and looking at all the names and just getting goosebumps, getting that tight feeling in the throat, getting incredibly emotional. And when you come across names and you see Sidney Poitier, everything comes rushing back to you. Every thought and every amount of pride that I've ever had in Sidney Poitier as a person, as a man of color, all of those things. But first and foremost, as a man who just happened to be a man of color, all of those emotions came surging when I saw his name. And so that's something that if you haven't been down the Walk of Fame in Hollywood, I have to tell you, if you're anything like me, bring a tissue box because it's very emotional because there's so many memories tied up into it. And so right now I'm thinking about all of the yeah, thank you, Deborah, the Walk of Fame. I'm thinking about all of the emotions that I had about being in Hollywood and seeing those names. And of course, if you haven't had a chance to do that, at some point it'll be there. Make sure you do it. You may have noticed in the news the other day, Betty White's name was covered with flowers and photos. And I'm pretty sure that by the end of the day, they'll have the same for Sidney Poitier. So big loss. And thank goodness we had him while he was here. And I guess this weekend, my homework for you guys is to, I guess, go watch some movies, watch the biographies and documentaries or whatever. But just do a big catch up. It's a way to celebrate the memory of some giants that we have recently lost. So, anyway, God bless you all. And last thoughts. Who wants the last word today? Who wants the last word? Now, please, as much as you know, I love when it's something flattering about me, which is how we closed out the last two times I said, Who wants the last word? I do not want you to make it about me. This is not my day. So, who wants the last word? I said we're not going to make the. uh, oh yeah, you're right. Um, Lydia, it was Joan last time, right? Okay. Uh, I'm looking for it. Okay. Somebody has to have it. It can be very simple, nothing too complicated. I like this one too, but it's got my name on it, so I'm not going to use it. Or am I? No. But thank you, Beverly. Uh, Me? Not quite, but thank you. Okay. All right. Anybody? Oh, I think we got it. Thank you, Sidney Poitier. You represented well. TCC, son, thank you. You have the last word today. Thank you all so much. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And I'll catch you guys again. All right. Thank you. God bless. Love you all. And we're out.